Well, we need to welcome you back, and we'll see with the big story for today. We're talking about the state of the economy and how the present hardship seems to be hitting hard, especially at all sectors of the country. Many will indeed say Nigeria seems to have the biggest economy, but it looks as if the economy is in crisis. But what better way to address them is what we'll be taking a certain look at, or rather, be looking at as the major today on the big story. But still remember, I have my guest. We're talking of no other person but Chief Sonny Onosoke, that is passionate about a need to redirect the move that this administration seems to have about the economy and refocus its drive to truly drive home and bring about those needed change that ordinary Nigerians will truly need. And looking at the crisis that seems to be in the economy and looking at what way forward, especially as we try to address it. But anyway, he's still right here addressing the issues with us. And well, before we went on the break, we looked extensively at whether indeed we're having a difficulty at the moment. And many will say, yes, we are. But as much as we feel about that, it's only right we also look at other major issues as it concerns the economy and address some of the problems that seems to be. Insecurity, unemployment is high, and every other thing seems to be there. And food crisis, come on, we seem to be having it all. But anyway, we're sticking with the hardship and trying to see how we can address it. And well, let's quickly come back to you, Chief Sonny Onosoke. Well, Ita Siga had a lot. He was vocal within the last 2 weeks. And he talked about this administration, especially as we talked about the policy of this administration, is being blamed for the present hardship we seem to be experiencing. And not just only him being vocal in the last 2 weeks. For a week and a half now, we've been having a back and forth battle between the presidential candidate of the People's Democratic Party in the last general election and the former vice president, Atiku Abubakar, who came out in all boldness to say that the present hardship we're experiencing should be hinged on the not thought out policy, economic policy of the Tinubu administration, especially as it concerns the fuel subsidy and flotation of the naira. But my question is, do you feel that's the case, that the present problem we're being faced with is because of the not thought out well plan policies of this administration?
I don't want to veer into political issues, and
yeah.
I don't want to recall with what the vice president.
Yeah, you just what you feel.
Yeah,
let's look at the policies.
You see, when I make my positions clear to Nigerians, it's not about the policy. The policies of the APC, the policies of Tinubu, they are very grounded. They are sound policies.
Okay.
Even the past president, Buhari, these policies were sound.
So what's the
let's go. The inability of the government to control the policy. There's a popular saying that just been not quite too long. It's going around the world now. A position paper. No government can succeed if the president or the governor or the local government have no control over his policies. You see what is going on? Tinubu lost control over his policies. You know, they are brilliant policies. It boils down to the state governors.
And implementing
and then, yes, you don't just come and make laws. We don't want to see this, and you, governor or the president, you're not implementing it. It is this, we must stop this unsustainable act of borrowing money for consumption.
Unsustainable act of borrowing
money for consumption. And then we must imbibe this culture of coming back for patronizing our locally made goods. Terry, this is my solution to the ferry. If we really want to go out of this,
you need to elaborate that later.
Yeah, you need to elaborate that. Yes. Then three, if you go to Bahrain, if you go to see the Ukraine war, why do you buy Russian products with Russian currency? Their oil, other countries in the world.
The ripples. Why do you go to source of Russian repo with your dollar and then to buy Russian oil? Is it a taboo or is it anti-government for Nigerians? Oil is a marketable product. You don't need adverts. Yeah. Yes, sir.
Point of correction. Let's get this thing cleared up. You don't need adverts. Is it a crime to buy Nigeria oil with naira? What stops the American? Only people want to use our oil our crude, come here and source for our naira to give you the value to pay us in naira. I am asking
in buying
our crude oil. I'm asking the government from state to the federal level. What stop Nigeria from telling us not to buy our crude oil with our naira? Then you will guys the dollar so cheap. They bring the dollar. You want to buy? You operate dollar in your country, say yeah. You operate pounds, you say yeah. You want to buy my oil, you say yeah. You source of naira and come and buy my oil.
So do you feel the dollarization of the economy is also a major
major problem?
Because like I said, just yesterday, the naira fell to an all-time low of 1,800 naira to a dollar.
Somebody borrowing dollar to give to the banks to exchange for our foreign consumption. Where are the dollars? So the people could not be bold enough to say, let's go to the finance. The rot in the system today is the financial sector. Kanaso is good. But I think Kanaso is tight. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Because there's special interest in this issue. People have special interest in this issue. I ask again, who are in possession of the $7 billion in circulation? Which banks? When the money comes, what I understand from the layman's view, CBN will give to the banks. Have you ever gone to any bank and you see dollar?
No.
Why can't you come out and tell these people that high time you start fooling the masses? We're undergoing pains. So the three things to redress these issues: we must reduce our appetite for foreign goods. I'm not here to advertise anybody. My brother, nothing is wrong with innocent motor. My brother, nothing stops a senator not to use an innocent motor. Nothing stops a governor not to use innocent motor. I'm not an Igbo man. I'm not campaigning for him. But I know we should patronize locally assembled cars. Please, for Christ's sake. Today will be 2 months by month end. Why the rumor came, they lit up Adako refinery. 2 months going. It's not working. So why do we remain only the country in the world that drinks oil? The sixth country in the world, the sixth largest producer of crude oil, without an existing refinery. Please, let's look at our. That is where the problem of this country is. That is where it is. Give license to Corbotech refineries.
If you cannot do that.
If you cannot do that, give license to Mondla refineries. Even if you wanted us, local men like we, to come and be buying one tank of crude for NNPC, they will go to my village, I will fence the place, and I will start cooking the oil. Then the federal government will come with their regulation or the quality control team from NNPC. We will do it. We have people in Niger Delta who can cook this oil like that. They will buy legally from NNPC. Give us a tank of crude, 33 bridge of crude oil. Men go cook them. May they bring their thermometer, be Bahrain this day. Context and equality will be like American standard. We need freedom. You see, these things are
so it's not hard to fix
at all. See, look, let's block our foreign consumption. Let's reduce it. The Chinese did it in 1953 to 1978.
Closed down, yeah.
They closed down the system. President Mao, he did it in 1953. They faced inward. They started producing. I want to tell you something in terms of goods and services. America is on quick. Forget Joe Biden's lauded man of saying, hey man, we are the #1 in the world. That's not true. Chinese are controlling the world today. That's not true. Forget American superiority. We're not talking about battle, not feats. We're talking about standard of living. Look at Chinese number of billionaires. They've surpassed Americans. You see, we got it wrong when we went to massive privatization of our national institutions. And then we privatize it without regulating them. We privatize our thing. You sold it to dictators. You sold it to monopolistic investors. We sold them out. As civilized as America, the government did not pull out of investments. The government did not pull out of companies. I want to give you a breakdown. The 3 vehicles in the United States, GM Motors. You have Chrysler,
Ford.
You have Ford, and you have GM Motors. When the COVID came, they were subsidized. They were hugely subsidized by the state government.
For people to buy.
To people. Even the Boeing aircrafts manufacturers.
To keep them still in
To
business.
keep them going. What did you do then? You subsidize not Boeing, but the workforce. That has a multiply effect concept to the family and trickle down. Some of the biggest companies in China, we even patronize them in Nigeria here. They're all state construction companies.
Okay, now, yeah.
They're all China-controlled engineering companies.
You just
so
said...
why do you go into premature propaganda?
Chief Onoseke,
Yes.
you just brought this out, and I want us to still remember that we're
Yes.
looking at the reason we are neck deep into the crisis we are. And I would really want us to look at this, because you talked about production.
Yeah. The state must come back to involve themselves in production.
I would just really want to ask you now, because
Yeah.
let's look at our own production sector.
Yeah.
Many will hinge the blame on the crisis, like you said, on government's inability to walk through its policy.
Yes.
That's the problem we're
Absolutely.
having. Okay, that's good to say.
Inclusion of local government.
Other persons will also say that the problem we're presently facing is because we have insincere marketers and producers. And the reason I say so, just day before yesterday, the federal government finally had a meeting with cement manufacturers to see how they can bring down the price of cement from the present 16, 15,000, 13,500 we investigated here in Delta State to as low as 8,000 naira. And the reason they said so was to see how they can keep that sector, real estate sector, going. On the mind, the stakeholders are not still too happy with the 8,000 they've arrived on, but it's also a beginner.
Absolutely.
But the question still remains. Raw material is well breaded here in this country. So why the present increase? So, and that's number one, just as you also help us understand.
I'm going to make
why we had so many warehouses in this country. Kano, for example, where we had lots of foodstuffs, but they were hoarded and kept away. I also had 52 routes whereby food are being smuggled
out of this country.
Yes. So should we not only hinge the blame on the government? Should we not look at also other Nigerians that are just so desperate to cash in on the crisis and also make themselves?
Is it in Nigeria the state government subsidized? Or is it in Nigeria the federal government told to this bank give him 1 billion out of this farm? What are you? What? Let me tell you something.
So we should not blame all these persons that are taking due advantage.
It's not on due advantage. I'm asking a simple question. Every Chinese company, we're getting it so wrong. Let me not jump the question. You ask about cement.
Yes.
Because I had a press conference in Abuja.
Okay.
That build out to stop their...
I saw
in some of the national publications.
Yes.
That they should stop all construction work.
For the now.
If the people are going to come down. You know, I'm in Delta State. You may not know where I go to. I think I'm more popular nationally than even in the state here. I was privileged. And I went to Bajana.
Okay.
I came 4 days ago.
Okay.
I saw with my eyes.
Okay.
I'm not a spokesman for Dangote because I was the first one I lambasted it. My brother, even if you got 95% of the components of producing a cement in Nigeria, what you should think first and foremost, the variable cost of producing the bag of cement. Listen, bro. Listen, bro. Look at it. When you say the cost of producing the bag of cement, the workers in Dangote are demanding better wages. My brother. You see, the cost of a Dangote worker coming to Bajana for operation, it has increased. Dangote, the price of crude oil, diesel for that power is making
yes.
has increased. The cost of Dangote importing his spare parts or his plant, it has increased. The cost of Dangote taking that cement from Obajana to Warri, it has increased in diesel consumption. So even if you get 90, what we're telling them, the cost of doing production in Nigeria is high. Is too expensive. That's why we cry on the government to intervene. Dangote cannot run his plant with BEDC. He cannot run it with NEPA. He will go buy SEC. He will close down the place. But that does not mean I say they should sell for 15,000 naira. I do appreciate Dangote and Boy Managing Director and the management of Lafange. Who actually came out and said, we can very depend on 8,000 to 7,000. Depends Look at the language. Depends on the longevity of the transportation. Now, if you pick something from Obajana in Kogi State here, you know, you want to truck that truck to Meduguri, and you want to truck it to Edo State. My brother, it's not the same. You shouldn't sell cement at a uniform price. Unless the government want to tell me want to subsidize transportation of Dangote, and that's all. And that's all. Just like when you do bridging costs for transporting oil from Warri Refinery to Kanu, when NNPC was existing, you introduce the bridging cost. So we can sell a uniform price nationally.
But you take care of the...
You take care of the loan, yes, the transportation. Those are the things these investors are doing. And let me tell you, a lot of things are scaring away foreign investors right now. Because we just sit down and look at blocked issues. You know why we are lazy in Nigeria? Because we have a national petroleum, whereby the governors will sit down, the chairman will sit down, and allocation comes monthly. It comes monthly. What deprived a state in the Niger Delta to float their own refinery? Are they deprived? What stops a state in the Niger Delta to go into private participation agreements with foreign refining companies and locate it in one of the Niger Delta area? Did they stop the governors not to do that? Did Tinubu stop them not to do that? Why are we not practical about things? May they stopped. Why must we be dependent? What stops the state governor to float 1 million acres of land, plow the place, and put on the wheat and maize, and start exporting wheat even back to Ukraine, to Europe? Is it a crime? Is it a rocket science technology that makes Ukraine one of the highest wheat producers?
Undermine their under war.
Yes, imagine that even with war in Ukraine, they still reap one of the highest output of grain. Is it a crime? You go to Ukraine, their states subsidize Ukraine.
But irrespective of this, should ordinary Nigerians cash in on the hardship and make it even worse for other Nigerians? You keep just talking and talking. Who catches on the opportunity? When we have warehouses being closed and food hoarded. Let me ask you a question. Why do you people talk about the dollar? Why are you cashing on the dollar? What do you want to do with your dollar? I've told you to sustain this country is to look inward. I've told Nigerians, including my governors and the presidents, the political class that have been subsidized with our money, that the way to go into this country is to look inward. We have to look inward. We should try to reduce our taste of foreign products. What will give your naira the value? Hey, my brother, simple economic theory. What gives the naira the value is to look inward. If we are going to manage our Okerika, instead of buying turkey and American leather jeans, or St. Louis, St. Michael's from UK, let's buy the Okerika. Let's use. China did it, and China's are the controller of the world economy. Don't let America start deceiving you. America has never been the greatest economy for the past 10 years. China has been on the top. Let somebody come and sit down and tell Sonny, why do you think China is the best? I've gone and do to base. It's like you asking Sonny, how many professors in Nigerian engineering university who has come up with a research package and deliver to a governor? Governor, do this kind of thing, you think will work. They sit there as critic professors. They sit there as engineers. They want to be special advisor to governors and presidents. That is what they do in university. But that's where the cash comes.
That is what they do, and then you keep just complaining. Like I told you, that the salary of the budget of NAS, the National Assembly budget of 197 billion, is more than the budget of 32 in federal universities. And somebody is coming to tell Sonny Onosoke that you sit in the Senate, you want to give pronouncement, that you have a silos, you never know where the silos the private investor did it from. Let's not deceive ourselves. If we really want this country to move on, then we must take some challenges ourselves. We must be serious to move this country on.
I will come to those solutions shortly. I'll plead with you to hold on. It's indeed a heated one, and one that is getting Nigerians really on the edge. Hardship, like you said, a hungry man is an angry man.
That's true.
But anyway, no anger on it. We need to go on a break, and when we come back, more discussion right here on The Big Story for Today.